Anand Ranganathan, can you tell Mr. Sanjay Hegde, where are we misunderstanding which law? Or is it, when it comes to Modi, people like Mr. Sanjay Hegde and Sabha Naqvi run a whole industry of creating a demon out of a man because he doesn't really fit into the size they've cut out for their own icons?
Yeah, good evening, Happy New Year, Navika, and thanks very much for having me. I'd rather address you than Mr. Hegde and Ms. Sabha Naqvi. I'd rather address you. Because first of all, I really need to congratulate you, Madhav Das, for this astounding expose. Whatever those who are not really aware of the law may say. You know, right now it is absolutely apparent that these anti-CA protesters can run but they can't hide. This actually is the last nail in their decaying coffin. When America does it, it's not Christian Rashtra. When India does exactly the same thing, it is Hindu Rashtra. Enough of this nonsense. What you have shown right now are actually two things. One, you have exposed the hypocrisy of these guys, anti-CA protesters, and number two, which is very important, you have also shown that if what America did was not considered discriminatory by anyone around the world, including the Americans who are now writing and Indians writing in America that, oh, what India is doing is discriminatory, then how is this discriminatory? So it yet again also exposes these anti-CA protesters for what they really are: illogical, irrational, and astoundingly hypocritical. And not only, I'm sorry to say, the law is an ass, but sometimes some lawyers are as well. You see, I'll tell you why. They know that in 2012 and 2015, the communists and the Congress demanded the exact same CAA, wherein the Bangladeshi minorities, specifically non-Muslims, were to be given Indian citizenship. Let them deny this. This is on paper. They have demanded this. Now they are backtracking. So that was not discriminatory. They know that they were completely silent for 70 years when lakhs of Hindu refugees from what was then West Pakistan ran for their lives and settled in Kashmir, but were denied citizenship, jobs, dignity, basic human rights because of Article 370. That was not discriminatory, huh? So, you know, that was then, it was not Hindu Rashtra then. They know that CA is not about Indian Muslims at all. And yet they want India to burn to the tune of these supremacist and bigoted chants like La ilaha illallah in Hindu se azadi, invoking the notion of some God-granted rishta. So, and when they are scared that they have exposed themselves, they start singing the national anthem. Arey, aise nahi hota hai. And let me tell you, let me please give me 20 more seconds. Today, you have exposed them on CAA. Stop interrupting me. I was silently listening to your diatribe. Now you have exposed them on CAA. If you give me 1 minute, I don't think you can, but I will completely expose them on this another bogey, this goalpost shifting. CAA पहले हफ्ते भर criticize किया, उसमें मारे गए तो CA plus NRC आ गया, उसमें मारे गए तो अब कह रहे हैं Muslims के against है, अब कह रहे हैं poors के against है. कहाँ goal shift करोगे? Field में तो रखो कम से कम. So, you know, we have to ignore, you cannot wake people up who are pretending to be asleep. That's and right. Lawyers are not, that's right. Journalists are not, they are just pretending to be asleep.
I want to ask you
anything about it.
I want to go straight across to Dr. Anand Ranganathan, who's been watching this expose unfold here on Times Now. The hashtag is CAA anti-Modi conspiracy. How do you see this, Anand Ranganathan? Is this an opposition based on ethics, or is it on narrow partisan concerns?
Yeah, good evening, Rahul. I don't know what to say. I must congratulate you and your whole team, including Madhav Das. This is an astounding expose. These anti-CA protesters can now run, but they can't hide. I suppose when Obama was implementing this policy of letting only the Jews and the Christians in, the students over there were chanting, "Yahudiyon ki kabar khudegi MIT ki chhati par." Shame on these hypocrites. But seriously, this yet again exposes these anti-CA protesters for what they really are. Illogical, irrational, they, you know, in Modi hatred, they are just absolutely, they've gone berserk and astoundingly hypocritical. They know, as you also said, and as we have proved over the last 1 month, that in 2012 and 2015, the communists and the Congress demanded the exact same CAA, wherein Bangladeshi minorities, i.e. specifically non-Muslims, not Muslims but non-Muslims, they were to be given Indian citizenship. They know that they were completely silent for 70 years when lakhs of Hindu refugees from what was then West Pakistan ran for their lives and settled in Kashmir, but were denied citizenship, jobs, dignity, basic human rights because of Article 370. They know that the CA is not about Indian Muslims at all. And yet they want India to burn to the tune of supremacist and bigoted chants like La ilaha illallah and Hinduon se azadi, invoking the notion of some God-granted rishta. Then scared, they are exposing themselves, they start singing the national anthem. It doesn't work like that. Please give me 30 more seconds. You know what pains me, Rahul? That the journalists and activists who tutored and incited the poor impressionable Muslims to brave the biting cold and sit on the streets of Delhi in Shaheen Bagh are busy frolicking right now in Paris and New York. Ye hai inke rishte ki asliyat. You brave the bullet over CAA while I sip Bloody Mary over Christmas. Everyone has seen through their game, especially today after your expose. But they are not going to change, believe me. They are not going to get azadi from stupidity and illogic, because they don't want that azadi.
IRF is right on
Now
USCA,
he has changed his verdict.
and therefore it is right
The
on
problem
Indian
is this, Rahul. You don't let me speak.
You say
But this is the
that
problem
you
when
are a
Amit Shah came
hypocrite.
Calcutta.
This is what Shehzad Poonawala is referring to.
Muslims have to see
Viewers, I want to
their
read
own.
out. I want to read out something.
The Muslims have to see their
USCIRF
own.
raises serious concerns
I
and
want
high
to read out many
sanctions.
things from
1 minute,
USA.
please. Listen to this, and I want to bring in Dr. Anand Ranganathan. I know everything is not good in America. Only some people believe this. So that's why they also play up what they think is good about America. Now let me tell you what they've been quoting. Washington, D.C., Dateline. This is the press release. USCRIF raises serious concerns and eyes sanctions recommendations for citizenship bill in India which passed lower house today. This is a statement that has been issued by the USCIRF.
on CA, not NRC.
On CAA.
Amazing.
On CAA. Just about a year before that, viewers, this is what the same body in America was saying. It says, we are concerned by denial of Lautenberg refugees from Iran. They were concerned that persecuted minorities from Iran were not being given citizenship or refuge in America, and their cases were not being expedited. So, Modi's CAA deserves sanctions, while America's CAA must be upheld, same CAA almost, must be upheld as a law that protects minority rights. And this is what the Congress party, the opposition in this country, Lutyens lobbyists, this is the same organization they quote. Now, Dr. Anand Ranganathan, why do you think this is the case? Why do you think we have this, I don't know, selective approach?
Double standards.
No, and well, I mean, if you want one phrase
Rahul,
answer, it is hatred for Modi.
They have a
That's
kind
what
of
it is,
CAA.
and it has been going on for the last 6 years. But can I please take a couple of minutes and address, a couple of questions? One, without coming across as patronizing, may I please say that Mr. Pawan Verma is far too intelligent to ignore the absolute logic and the justness and the morality of the CAA. Now, can I please address his objection to the he not only objects to the CAA, he also objects to the CAA plus NRC. I'll delve on both issues very quickly. First one is, you see, you are giving refuge or citizenship to the persecuted minorities of 3 countries where Islam is the state religion. Are you saying that you should also give citizenship to Muslims persecuted there? Now tomorrow there are 50 million Shias in Pakistan. Should India give refuge to all 50 million Shias? I mean, that is untenable. Don't they have just Supreme Court rights there? Point number 2, which is very important, as Amit Shah's meme says, aap chronology samajhiye. The Citizenship Act CAA amnesty has actually been activated on 31st December 2019. So right now, the cutoff date is 2014. By the time the NRC comes, we don't know what the draft is. Mr. Sumant Raman is all speculating because the goalpost has been shifted from anti-CAA to anti-CA plus NRC, and now it is not just anti-Muslim, it is anti-poor.
Rahul, this is
but what I'm trying to say is, by the time the NRC comes, all those who want, stop interrupting. Stop.
Look, let's before you throw words around. And
Rahul, because my name was taken by this gentleman.
Yeah, okay. Please respond. Please respond. Please respond.
Yeah, I too have great respect for Mr. Pawan Verma, but I'm afraid that he is completely shorn of logic here. I'm talking, I mean, has he not been in India and watching what has been happening on our television screens over the past month? What is happening in Bengal, in Bihar, in Patna, when they broke a Hindu temple? what is happening in Odisha when they're shouting Kafiron se Azadi, what is happening in Jamia. I'm not saying that every one of the protester is like that, but it was very clear from the beginning what is the reason for these protests. And as we have exposed, and Rahul, as today you have exposed, it is completely devoid of all logic. But you can keep on protesting till the cows come home. I mean, I'm not there to stop you. You can protest for the next 20 years. And you can ask your party to not support the NDA.
The objection, viewers... No, 1 minute. I want to come in with a clarification here. This is important.
Is irrefutable.
Yeah, I want to come in with a clarification. Till now, the objection to the CAA. Now, look how they changed the goalposts. CAA plus NRC is problematic. An NRC which has not been announced, viewers. We don't know the draft. We haven't seen the draft. They've gone to court against the CAA.
That's always been there.
1 minute. Listen, 1 second, Tausif. Let me finish.
A problem, and we have
Let me finish. Otherwise, I'm just going to lower.
Anand Ranganathan, you know, when we think that we've fallen low, here we have once in a while a panelist who takes the low to such abysmal depths that one, you know, just doesn't understand that where our entire society is headed. Here we are talking about whether some kind of communalism has crept in through the kind of slogans that we are seeing on video, and there you have a person who is talking about competitive communalism. Two wrongs definitely don't make a right, in my view. Dr. Anand Ranganathan.
In everyone's view, but Madhav, before I come to the thrust of my thesis, you know, in which I will finish in a couple of minutes, can I please correct my good friend Tehseen Poonawalla, and I wish you a very happy new year, and to you, Tehseen, as well. I'm going to hold you to your new year resolution, Tehseen, which is not to interrupt me during when I'm speaking. But I'm kind of shocked by the absolute misreading of my good friend Tehseen of the religious chant. I mean, Islam kya chhod diya, shahada bhul gaye. You know what La ilaha illallah means? It means there is no God but the Allah. And also, according to chapter 35, verse 37, it is translated as, no one has the right to be worshipped but Allah. So it is not an exhortation like Jai Shri Ram or Bajrang Bali. It is a supremacist chant. That is, nobody else has the right to be God but Allah. So let the truth be out. You know, it's all right if one wants to say it or not, but at least please state the fact. Now, Madhav, please give me 1.5 minutes. And after that, you know, people are free to rebut me.
Yeah.
You know, the fact is...
But I'll be allowed to counter that because he's not correct. I should be allowed to counter it because you're not correct on Islam.
Yes, let him make his point. Let him make his point.
This is egregious, right?
No, let him make your point. Go ahead.
This is not right.
Fair enough.
Look, I was
will not
silent,
interrupt you,
and you
but
can
you're wrong
interrupt me
on Islam.
later.
I'll be allowed to correct.
Please let me finish.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I just wanted time to correct you.
Make your point, Anand. Quickly.
So as I was saying, Madhav, no amount of singing the national anthem is going to whitewash the supremacist and bigoted Islamic slogans being shouted on the streets by these anti-CA protesters. And as you said, and I am not surprised, that 25 PFI leaders have been arrested for perpetrating large-scale violence. The PFI is an organization neck deep in acts of terror, bomb-making, training camps, political murders, linked with Al-Qaeda. And it came to prominence after SIMI was banned. Many PFI leaders are actually ex-SIMI. This is not me saying this, but the Kerala police and the High Court. Let me give you just one example of PFI's criminal antecedents. On July 4, 2010, PFI activists chopped off the hand of a teacher named Joseph for allegedly framing a question paper that insulted Prophet Muhammad. In 2015, 13 PFI activists were convicted by the court for this crime.
Oh, absolutely.
But yet,
I just read that
on
out.
22nd September 2017, the ex-vice president Hamid Ansari
I just made all those points.
Despite knowing the terror activities of the PFI. This is how you mainstream violence. You play the victim card. Hum khatre mein hai.
All right. I think we've covered a lot of that ground. Let me quickly get in Tehseen, Anand.
And I'm not surprised, as you said, that 25 PFI leaders have been arrested for perpetrating large-scale violence during these protests. The PFI is an organization neck deep in acts of terror, bomb-making, training camps, political murders, linked with Al-Qaeda and Islamic fundamentalism. It came into prominence after SIMI was banned, as you said, and many PFI leaders, as you also pointed out, are actually ex-SIMI. This is not me saying this, but the Kerala police and the High Court. Let me give you just one example of PFI's criminal antecedents. On July 4, 2010, PFI activists chopped off the hand of a teacher named Joseph for allegedly framing a question paper that insulted Muhammad. The irony was that Joseph had meant not Prophet Muhammad but Kunju Muhammad, the man on whose book he had framed his question. Joseph was sacked from his job, his hand chopped off, his wife committed suicide. In 2015, 13 PFI activists were convicted by the court for this crime. Hundreds of PFI leaders and activists have been charged under the UAPA,
yes,
but all under the Congress and the communists. But the moment the BJP comes to power, the former start supporting. Absolutely. So, you know, it's just astonishing how many goalposts have been shifted over the past month, Rahul. It's just, and that is all to do with the ignorance and absolutely no reading of the bill, first the bill and then the CAA and then the procedure of the NPR and then the NRC. You know, so it is accepted that CAA is not anti-Muslim, right? That is accepted. That is completely the truth. Now, you see, all these people who thrust millions onto the streets chanting religious and bigoted.
Ma'am, you don't accept anything.
They do not accept.
You don't accept anything.
2012 and 2015.
You only accept what Priyanka Gandhi has to say today.
Reasons to say.
And are you sure that she is not playing a political hand?
Yes.
No, we have genuine reasons for not accepting that, sir.
You know, as somebody...
And Mr. Waris Pathan is waxing eloquent about protecting Muslim minorities. He doesn't even consider the Ahmadiyas as Muslims.
Let me ask him, Waris Pathan, do you consider Ahmadiyas Muslims?
And this is the
Sabah Naqvi says that Muslims are being persecuted. At last check, I was told that certain Ahmadiyas in Pakistan are being persecuted because they are a minority. Do you recognize them as Muslims, yes or no?
And isolated incidents, they blow it.
No, 1 minute. Let me bring it.
Good evening, Rahul. Thanks very much for having me. You know, I watched the video tweeted by the PM. It was a good justification of the CAA, but an emotional one. And I have to say this. You know, it would have been much better had the PM tweeted your interview of Harish Salve and Ariman Sundaram. You know, emotional arguments can only make a case watertight if it is supplementing the legal arguments. And so much water has flown since Mr. Salve and Mr. Sundaram gave out their brilliant arguments that the case has become even more watertight. For example, we now know that in addition to the objective reading of the CAA and what the Shahi Imam also said, there is nothing against Muslims in the CAA. We know that it does not violate any article of our constitution. We know that in 2012 and 2015, the Communists and the Congress demanded the exact same CAA wherein Bangladeshi minorities, i.e. specifically non-Muslims, were to be given Indian citizenship. This is hypocrisy of the worst kind. And it is dangerous, I'll tell you, because the Islamic undercurrent of this protest was openly being encouraged and incited. The very same people, please give me 20 more seconds, the very same people who otherwise pretend to believe that religion is the opium of the masses push millions of the religious and the devout who hadn't even read the CAA onto the roads. And now when the latter are openly asserting their identity through supremacist and bigoted chants like Tera Mera Rishta Kya, La ilaha illallah and Hinduon se Azadi, the former are getting nervous because they have uncorked the bottle that holds the direct action genie. In fact, the Islamists are proud of having made the protest religious. They have already begun outraging against the communists and the Congress leaders for their unease about making the protest religious. Please remember, a stone once picked bears no name.
Right. Right. It's an important point, Sabah Naqvi.
All right, let me take this question. Okay, let me take this question across to other panelists. All right. Dushan Nagar and Sudhanshu Trivedi, gentlemen, just 1 second. I will come to you, Sudhanshu Trivedi. I just want to bring in Anand Ranganathan on this because Anand Ranganathan, you know, Dushan Nagar seems to, you know, be saying that there has never been any discrimination. When Congress has given citizenship, it has been across the board. It has been across religions. Would you like to refresh his memory, sir?
Yes. No, Dushan ji ने 2-3 बातें कही हैं, उसमें से 1-2 बातें ठीक हैं. Please allow me 1 minute. I want to make 3 points and all of them are factual points. Number 1, it is beyond doubt that Congress initiated the NPR. Beyond doubt. Point number 2, it is beyond doubt that Congress wanted the exact same CAA as has been enacted by the NDA. They demanded in 2012 and on August 10th, 2015 that the Bangladeshi minorities, i.e. non-Muslims, Bangladeshi minorities are not Muslims, they demanded that the Bangladeshi minorities be given citizenship, right? And point number 3, it is beyond doubt that the Congress made detention centers. But I also have to say this, that if, now I do not know the exact phrase that the Prime Minister used, you might have to play that again, Madhav, but if he said that there are no detention centers, then he is clearly wrong. And like Dushanji, I do agree that there is nothing wrong with having detention centers. America has it, Britain has 10 of them, every advanced country, every civilized country has it. If there are illegal people who've come in, where else do you put them? Not in no man's land. You have to provide them with reasonable accommodation, and that is what detention centers do. You can call them refugee centers if you like, to make it more pliable, but there is nothing wrong in having detention centers. So Dushanji is correct. But if Narendra Modi said that there are no detention centers, he is clearly wrong. But did he say that? So please play what he said exactly. Okay. Even I would be interested to find out.
I don't know if we can pull up that clip immediately, but I would like to get Dr. Sudhanshu Trivedi to respond to you, because you've directly raised this question as far as the Prime Minister is concerned. Dr. Sudhanshu Trivedi, was the Prime Minister perhaps factually wrong? That's a question that Dr. Anand Ranganathan is raising, and after you, I go across to other panelists. Yes, Dr. Trivedi.
The question was that our government is planning to have detention centers after those who will find unfit under the...
Unacceptable the way it's been.
No, come on, Nishan, please. I think you're interrupting a lot. I think you're interrupting a lot. I've also told you now. Please let others speak. Let everyone speak. You can respond to each of those statements if you have a problem. Anand, please go ahead.
He's all over the debate like a rash, which he is. Now, as I was saying, for the people who don't have much sense, can I please break it down, what the general said sentence by sentence? And I challenge them to say, if this is anything political. Sentence number 1, leaders are those who lead people in the right direction and not in the inappropriate one. Is there anything political in this?
Yes, he's telling
Sentence number 2,
we don't
a large number of university and college...
Let him speak, sir. Sir, why can't you let somebody make his point? Nishant, why can't you wait 2 minutes, 30 seconds, sir? Let them make the point.
All yours.
इतनी एनर्जी कहाँ से आ गई यार? इतने पेडिग्री क्यों खा के आए हो? Please be quiet. Sentence number 2. A large number of university and college students.
आपका खाना मैं नहीं खाता.
पेडिग्री बोलेंगे मैं चलाऊंगा. Okay, gentlemen, no personal comments. Okay, no personal comments from anyone. Anand Ranganathan, make your point. Nishant, it's all right. It's okay. Anand Ranganathan, please make your point.
Yes. Now, the sentence number 2 of the good general was, a large number of university and college students are leading masses and crowds to carry out arson and violence in our cities and towns. What is political in it? It is factual. This is what was happening.
Which leader was he telling?
Sentence number 3. This is not leadership. So I have now broken down.
Let him finish his point.
Now, you know,
let him finish his point. Go ahead, Anand. Go ahead.
This is so tiring. This is so...
Yes, you go one by one.
No, it's okay. I will decide how the debate is conducted, sir, not you. Anand, finish your point.
Yeah, I have finished my points. I broke down, I deconstructed the general speech, the 3 things, and I challenge anyone to tell me what is political in this.
Okay, now Nishant...
on what I just said. God of small things, be quiet.
Right, 1 second.
Have some manners.
Yes, let him make his point. Go ahead, Anand.
Madhav, I need to finish what I started.
Make your point. Go ahead. Floor is yours.
Yes, thank you very much. The general, as I was saying, is philosophically and factually correct. And besides, internal security is his remit. Honestly, guys, if you have run out of stones, stop pelting us with your stupid and deranged views. Pick up something else, maybe a book or something.
So and please give me 30 seconds. I want to make a very important point. Intelligence failure.
Let him make his point.
No, is that what you are saying, sir?
Nishant, you can rebut him. Let him.
This is not a monologue. This is a debate. You cannot go like a monologue. When you say, please justify that he pointed out Yogi Adityanath's
Nishant, nobody interrupted you. Nobody interrupted you. Please give other panelists also the same courtesy, and I have to go across to other panelists as well. Let him make his point and then you can rebut him.
Now, Madhav, can I please make the second point? Please.
Go ahead.
It's important. Thank you very much. Now, I am a free speech absolutist and a firm believer in the dictum better out than in. Anyone should be free to say anything, irrespective of the office he or she holds. This is what being a liberal means. So I supported the Supreme Court judges when they held that press conference. I supported Shah Faisal when he ranted against India, even though civil service rules prohibit this. I supported the German students who took part in the anti-CA protest, even though he may have violated some parts and
ministers were talking about.
This is the third time I'm being interrupted. Madhav, you have to throw him out of the room.
Once again, let someone make his point. You can always rebut him.
This guy will get some job of a registrar or a clerk.
But when
he expects Rahul Gandhi to throw some crumbs at him
and interjecting in politics, we shall reply.
All right, once again, Nishan, this is not doing anyone. You're not doing anyone a service. You're not doing anyone a service, sir. You're not doing anyone a service by jumping into the debate again and again. Let him make his point. I will come back to you. You can. I'm taking his statement on leadership, and let me bring in Anand Ranganathan. Anand Ranganathan, Nishant Verma, of course, does not think that this is about leadership. He also does not see this as a call for peace. He says this is purely a political statement that is being made by the army chief. How do you respond to him, Anand?
Yeah, good evening. Thanks very much, Mother, for having me. You know, these dynasty slaves have truly lost their Italian marbles. Not a day has gone by in the last 5 years when they haven't demeaned our institutions. From the President to the Election Commission to the Supreme Court to even the armed forces. From spreading fake news about army atrocities in Kashmir to calling the army chief Sadak Ka Gunda and General Dyer, to disbelieving the surgical strikes. These anarchists have proved that nothing for them is sacrosanct, that theirs is a slow-mo free fall into an abyss. I stress, the army chief said nothing political and nothing wrong. These muppets seem to have a comprehension problem in addition to a mental one. Let me quote General Rawat verbatim. Leaders are those who lead people in the right direction and not in an inappropriate one. A large number of university and college students are leading masses and crowds to carry out arson and violence in our cities and towns.
Was he talking about Narendra Modi? Was he talking about Amit Shah?
Now what is wrong with what he said?
Say that. Whom do you call dynastic slaves? Whom do you call dynasty slaves?
Who is this anarchist who is interrupting me?
Who do you call dynasty slaves?
Who is this dynasty slave who is interrupting me?
The British bootlickers. But yes, refrain from calling anyone a dynasty slave.
This is unacceptable.
Republic of India.
I was waiting, listening patiently to his rubbish, and now I am now being interrupted.
Rubbish?
Can you please ask him to be quiet?
You have the ears to simply listen to what
all right.
That is not the way India.